So these are concentration curls, but they're done with a band. So you just want to go a little bit higher reps than what you would use for concentration curls, but the same rules apply. You want to focus on getting your mind inside the muscle, particularly the peaks of your biceps, and we're thinking about height, not mass, not separation, height. We want our bicep peaks to be bigger. Let's go.
My forearms have always had a hard time recovering from compound lifts, so when it comes to biceps training, I'm always looking for ways to incorporate cables and bands and use as little weight as possible to do as much damage to the muscle fibers as I can, right? So my biceps need to be a little higher, particularly on my back double biceps pose, according to the critiques from WNBF judge Laura Turtle from our last posing session. So between now and my next competition in November, most of my biceps training will be targeted around this area. Banded concentration curls is what I call these bad boys because although they've been a favorite of mine over the years to pump before competitions, mentally what's really going on is I'm performing Arnold Schwarzenegger's dumbbell concentration curls from his encyclopedia, which I think is a true classic. It's what I cut my teeth on, even the missing one, yeah, when I started bodybuilding in 2017. And so I think that every competitive bodybuilder should have a copy of this book. You can do these anywhere that you have access to a high pulley or a hook, or in my case, the flag hook on the outside of our workout and podcasting studio because my wife and I have had it with these damn winds tearing apart our cloth flags. Hence the pallets that my kids and I painted. Now my landlord's happy because I did something with those pallets that were blocking the driveway, and my wife's happy because the kids did something creative today. So I'm going to read straight from Arnold Schwarzenegger's Bodybuilding Encyclopedia on page 442 so that you get the gist of the mind-muscle connection that you're going to need, and then I'll explain how to do it with a band. The purpose of this exercise is to create maximum height in the biceps, especially on the outside of the biceps. I like to do this exercise at the end of my biceps training because it is one of the best means of peaking the muscle. This is a very strict movement, but it is for height and not definition, so use as much weight as you can handle. The name concentration curl is significant. You really need to concentrate on the biceps contraction and being strict to make the exercise effective, and then get back to the chopper. So the high pulley feels better on the rest of my body so that I can focus on the peak of my biceps better. I'm thinking about the top of a mountain peak and how sharp and pointy it is. That helps me get a killer pump, and I can really feel it in the peak. Play around with what foot position works best for you too. You're going to have to figure out how to balance on this one a little bit. Since bands become tighter and increase in resistance as you pull them, I prefer to go with higher reps, around like 12 to 15 per arm, because if I use too heavy of a band, it throws off my balance. And then a couple things on going past failure. I like to lean into it on those last 3 or 4 reps, do a couple partial reps at the stretch of the movement, and then hold it isometrically for 10 to 15 seconds. I'm not really counting reps so much as making sure that each arm feels the same when I'm done. I'm just looking for the same feeling, getting that same stimulus in each arm. It's an intuition that only comes with practice, and so you're going to get a little bit better every time, but generally I recommend 12 to 15 reps per arm on this one. I'll put a link to the bands that I'm using in the description of this video. Okay, and then the cable variations. So if you're at the gym and no one's using the cable crossover machine, you never really know, then the same rules apply. So you want to keep your chest up, expand your rib cage, and take slow, deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And if anyone at Yellowstone Fitness is watching this, thanks for not pointing out that my shirt was totally inside out when we were recording this video, because that would have ruined my self-esteem for the day for sure. Probably would have cried myself to sleep. And thanks a lot, Brandon, for taking the video again, buddy.
Hey Colt, good morning. Just finished a great workout here. I listen to podcasts when I'm working out, and I'll tell you what, I love Carnivore Coaches Corner, one of my favorite podcasts. I listen to it every time there's an episode. It moves up the tops of my queue when there's one out, and just love it, just love what's going on there. As far as the carnivore diet, I gotta tell you, I've been carnivore now for almost 6 years. Keto for, I guess it's almost 7 years total between keto and then carnivore. Carnivore has changed my life. I had so many issues with everything from blood pressure to issues with prostate cancer, and on and on and on. I could make a long list of all the things that were wrong with this old body. But at 66, I'm setting PRs all the time in the gym. And all that comes because of being carnivore.